Hello, Tomies. This is DM Dave, and welcome to Saulum's Column Volume 3. So, this Saulum's Column, I'm going to be talking about kind of giving highlights about our Ko-Fi page that we have. It's very similar to, if you haven't listened to the previous Saulum's Columns, this Ko-Fi is kind of a way that you can help support us. And with that, I'm going to give some highlights of things that you can find on our Ko-Fi. I'm going to be talking about particular three of them, which is going to be the Dear Boudreaux column, the inner monologues of Lyla and Goratha, and our post show. So let's start off with Dear Boudreaux. So, if any of you have ever heard of kind of the column of Dear Abby, right, where you write in and you can ask any questions, life advice, kind of things like that. That is pretty much what our Dear Boudreaux commission is. There you can go on our Ko-Fi at ko-fi.com, Tomes of the Chaos Bard. You'll be able to find us there. And you can follow us there for more updates as we update our Ko-Fi and get that all squared away. It is 100% functional right now. Just more options and more things coming in the future that you'll get notified if you follow us. Anyways, back to Boudreaux. So the Dear Boudreaux is you write in a question, and Boudreaux himself, will answer it. He'll have some help reading the letters, of course. We have that all squared away. But he'll be able to answer any life questions, any relationship questions, any question that you really want to ask. He'll be able to answer them, and he'll answer them on Saulum's columns. So any future ones that you write into us, they'll be displayed at Saulum's columns. With that, there is a reminder for when you write in a question. Please keep it family friendly, because if it's not appropriate, it will not be read. And so we apologize for that in advance, but that is kind of the standard that we like to keep for our podcast. And Boudreaux gets a little embarrassed about some questions. And that you can go on our Ko-Fi, like I mentioned before, and that will be $1 to write him a message, and he will answer you back on our next Saulum's column. So get your thoughts ready, get your questions ready, and let's see what kind of fun questions you guys come up with. The next one I want to talk about is the inner dialogue between Lyla and Goratha. So since the beginning of this podcast, Becky has been taking very meticulous notes, been typing, and maybe every once in a while you'll hear like little typing noises. That would be Becky in our episodes, and she's just vigorously typing kind of like an inner monologue between Lyla and Goratha, what they're both talking about in her mind. And we thought that those were so cool that you guys, the fans, would probably love to read and hear about those. So we have made them available. We'll be releasing them slowly. We're not going to give you all of them at once, but they'll kind of follow the same beat of DM Deep Dives, where I'm talking about episodes 1, 2, and 3. Then you'll get the inner monologues of Lyla Goratha during those episodes, so kind of keeping them pacing together, which we thought was a cool idea. So if you're interested on what Lyla and Goratha talk about that in a conversation that nobody else knows, that never gets revealed, you can support us on our tier 2 of on our Ko-Fi page. The tier 2 costs $6, but with that you get also DM Deep Dives with early access to Chaos Chronicles and Saulum's columns, these ones. You get the post show there, and you get social media shout outs for supporting us. And you also get all released songs, MP3s, and PDFs if you support us on tier 2. You also get the podcast you also get shout outs on Saulum's column for supporting us. So if you're interested in any of that, you can sign up for our tier 2. Now, getting to our post show. Post show is available on tier 1, which is only $2 a month, so not bad at all. And with tier 1, you also get the early access for Chaos Chronicles or Saulum's column, the shout outs for those as well. So our post shows will be kind of at a session at a time. Very much like the DM Deep Dives, is we're going to take 2 or 3 episodes at a time. because when we get together, we record 2 or 3 episodes. So we will start with those. So for the first one will be episodes 39 and 40. So episodes 39 and 40, those ones, I can remember we were super nervous about recording the post show for those because we're like, we're not quite sure how we want to do it or what we're going to do. So this was our first attempt. So be forgiving on us. The last couple that we've done for 41, 42, 43, all the way up to 48 now, it have been so much fun and so insightful too. So it'll be exciting to see what you guys can get from it. So we're going to be talking about in all our post shows, we'll be kind of talking about what happened, but also kind of asking each other questions of, wait, why did you do this? Or, wow, that was so cool when you did do this. You know, a lot of the post session talks that a lot of people do. That's kind of what we do, is we kind of geek out about each other's things, or kind of like bug out and be like, that was so frustrating when you did this to me, you know, little things like that. So I'm excited to share those with you. Again, that's going to be on tier 1 for just $2 a month. We're excited to share those with you. And the last little bit of this Saulum's column, the about 15 minutes, will be a little sneak peek of for 39 and 40. But before we jump into those, I wanted to talk a little bit about 5-star reviews. So we thank you guys so much for your 5-star reviews. It really helps us to get noticed by other people who are looking through, trying to find something, and having those 5-star reviews mean a lot. It also means a lot for you guys to share by word of mouth as well. It's been awesome to see our numbers grow, and it's all because of you guys. Like, we can go on Twitter and we can self-promote all we want, but really our true growth comes from you guys. And we're so grateful for that. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for sharing us with everybody, and that's all because of you. With the 5-star reviews, we have only gotten 2 so far, and Saulum told me that he wants to wait until we get more so he can have a little more fun with it. So I just wanted to let you know we do have 2 new 5-star reviews, but the more 5-star reviews we get, the more you can hear Saulum give those shout outs to those 5-star reviews. And if you want to do one yourself, you can do it on Apple, you can do it on Podic Addict. A lot of places will do it. I'm sure you can find lots of locations to do it. Pod Addict does it. I think Pod Chaser lets you review it as well. Those are some of they're so much fun to read and see that we're doing a good job. We love to hear feedback, both positive and negative, because we're trying to grow, we're trying to do better, and sometimes we need that critique to help us be better. Don't forget to email us with anything like that as well at chaosbardpod@gmail.com. It's been so much fun to interact with many of you. I've had a few people email me and talk to me about, some DM questions, and so I'm open to answer any of those as well. Don't forget our social medias. We do have a Discord as well. If you look into our show notes on our podcast, when you click on to listen to our episodes, in the show notes, in the details, there is a link to join our Discord. I wish I knew how to give out the information for the Discord, or I'd give it out to you right now, but I'm so new to Discord, I don't know what I'm doing. But we've enjoyed talking to a few of you there as well. That's an easy way to keep up on any kind of news that we have about new episodes, or our title teasers as well. That's been a really fun thing for Abby to do. We do it on our Twitter and our Instagram and our Facebook page too. We have a Facebook fan page. Don't forget about that. Well, I'm just rambling on. So, without further ado, I give to you the post show, episodes 39 and 40. Enjoy, guys. We'll see you next time.
Welcome to the after show. All right, so in the after show, this is a new thing that we're thinking of doing. No, we are doing it. We're not thinking it anymore. So,
we're all sitting here.
15 minutes is going to be for the public. It's going to be for everybody. The other 15 minutes is for our Ko-fi subscribers. So if you would like that, there will be more details on the Ko-fi or in the show notes. So please look there. So here, we're just going to talk about the podcast and how this session went. A recording session, meaning how many we recorded this day, not the episodes, because we record multiple episodes in a session.
Yes.
So, the episodes we're going to be talking about this time are 39 and 40, and the date today is May 28th, 2020.
That's how far ahead we are.
2022. 2022.
Yes, we started recording this way back in 2020.
Yeah. I just want you to know I'm at school right now, and I feel like I'm back in 2020.
COVID was a real prosperous time for us, guys.
Okay.
No, not that much.
So we started out this episode with Grendel running up to us with a ransom note for Mendrick. How did that make you guys feel?
Well, Henley felt obligated to help them because we kind of
you were the one that grabbed
ruined
it.
a lot of things for that family.
Why did you not read it out loud at first? Is there any significance to that?
Well, she just wanted to read it, like...
Significance to your character is the reason why you held it back.
Mm-mm.
No? Cool.
No, not really. I don't think so. Like, she just wanted to read it before
Reading it out loud
reading
to
it out
everybody.
loud.
Okay, did you think it's because she's, like, protective? Or is it literally just, like, she's just, like, cool? I'm just curious.
I don't know.
Cool.
I just wanted to know the information.
We
Here you go,
recorded
Roscoe.
that
Have
2
the
months
letter.
ago. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's not part of this. That's not part of the session. Come on.
Okay. So then you handed it to Roscoe. Roscoe read it out loud,
Yeah, boy.
and you shared it with the group, so that was cool.
Well,
Thank you
I
for
got
that.
I got in
'Cause
trouble
he's a
last time
leader.
for keeping stuff to myself. So
Yeah, from Henley.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, Fenrir's thinking that did we cause Mendrick
That's true.
to get kidnapped by Marlowe? Like, are we somehow involved with this, or
Well,
is this
probably because of the bandits.
because of the bandits and because of he's not selling or he's not taking over the Hollow anymore?
Or maybe it had everything to do with that. And the MW could have been somebody else entirely. And we know that now. We didn't know that at the time. And we all had, well, not all of us, let's be honest. Most of us had some negative feelings because of past experiences with that particular person.
Moral
So
of the story, don't judge people.
Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover. Just because of our previous experiences, though, we had that predisposition to believe that it was him when it could have been or it could not have been. We still don't know.
I mean, when you're playing Clue, we know it's Mrs. White.
But really, it's always Colonel Mustard.
But where and what was the weapon? No. Okay. Anyway.
With the thought process behind the whole incident with once we found out, oh, hey, look, he's been kidnapped. For my 2 characters, there was a little bit of, oh, crap, what do we do? Like, did we do this? At the same time, it was like, oh, karma's a thing. Lyla was very much like, oh, man, we got to go help. We have to help him. Look what we did. If we were there, we could have stopped it potentially, or we could have caused this. Goratha was very much like, karma sucks, bro.
That's interesting.
She definitely still wanted to help, but at the same time, he was not nice to us on several different occasions. He was not nice to our friends on
That's
several
true.
different occasions. So,
Yeah.
but she also doesn't feel like.
But Joanna's really nice.
Yeah. No,
So-
see, exactly.
But-
That's the thing. Is like his family doesn't necessarily deserve that either.
And I was hoping that you guys would take the bait, and go on this little quest because it was open for you guys to go to Mapleshire.
Thanks, bro. No, I really almost was like, that sucks. Until Henley was like, we have to. I'm like, oh, well, no, we have to.
there was that little worry, but it's also one of those things of if you guys wouldn't have, something else would have happened, right? So now we get to see how this plays out.
Roscoe's concern with this whole thing, though, is, yeah, we're going to rescue him, and then immediately tell him he doesn't have the
But
minds
we'll
or
have
anything.
Joanna in our corner, hopefully.
Well, I mean, that's
And
great,
Grendel from
but
Who's Even Gonna
we're
Be
saving our
Someone
enemy to be our enemy.
Hey, guess what?
Or lessen it. It's like, hey, you know what? We didn't know this
We
information.
saved your life, and I dropped all of my silver to get here.
I don't know about you guys, but to me, he just sounds kind of like a selfish jerk a little bit. And so I don't know if he will react that way. Just looking at the evidence
I mean,
have.
he definitely could. Or he could say, oh, man, you know what? I did present myself this way. I did do this. But look what they did for my family. Look what they did for me in return. It could go two very different ways. Just like, and I'm going to bring previous episodes up here, just like your reaction to his son and that first, not his son, but his daughter and future son-in-law. That interaction could have happened very differently. We could have initially had allies in her corner. Had the
We were mean to
introduction
them.
had the introduction gone potentially differently, or it could not. We will never know.
But
is very
I don't
I
know how
want to
well
talk
this is gonna
about Fenrir
taste.
riding the eagles.
Oh my gosh.
That was, I was like, yes, I rolled an 18. I am not the one that fallen off everything.
It's true.
Was so happy. And then I rolled poorly the rest of the session. But I had one moment where I rolled an 18.
Yeah, that definitely was an embarrassing moment for Fenrir. But sometimes that's the way the dice roll, and that's part of the beauty of D&D too. Is you don't know exactly what's coming, and so when you roll poorly, you gotta kind of roll with it, and yeah.
You got to be
keep 'em
open
rolling.
to what the dice is going to give you
Yep.
and how you're going to react to it. I thought it was really funny too when you it was very comedic how you just fell off. Like you slid and then you were just did a barrel roll and was like, woo! Arms up in the air. You're like, yeah!
And what made it even better is that you did it again.
That was so funny. I loved that.
And that's
Did
one
that on
great thing
purpose?
that just rolling with the rolls, right? You're just like, the dice did it. Okay, I'll fall. I'll play along, I guess.
Right.
That's one of the things that I personally love about you, Zeb, in general, though, is you always are like, okay, now why did this happen? And you always voice it. I forget to voice it a lot of the time. But I also have a lot of buffs on my rolls, so my rolls usually aren't that bad.
Yes, you do have a lot
Gotcha.
of buffs.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I wish I could get your stats.
I
on
know,
my
I want your
characters.
stats.
My character is really OP, but I mean, I don't remember how I got that stacked. It's really
Just rolled well for those stats, for sure.
yeah. But I don't play it like that.
So, is there a reason, specifically out of curiosity, why your character is so embarrassed about things like that? Did he mess up? Is that why he was embarrassed? Or was it?
It could just be because his initial performance, when he first started in Avalon, he's like, my first time in Avalon sucked. Look what is happening the second time I'm leaving Avalon. This is just a bad omen.
And I know that I ask weird questions, so if you don't have an answer, you don't have to give me one.
That's my fan theory.
Yeah, no, you're good. I think it does have to do with the performance thing for Fenrir.
Okay.
Is he's all he looked at it as a chance to perform. He's always trying to perform.
Okay.
He's always trying to put on a show, put up a front, put
You
up
know what? He does a good job.
and so he always wants to do just that, to do a good job. And so when it doesn't happen, he knows it's not always going to happen like that, like his first show in Avalon. Mm-hmm. And so you just got to roll with the punches sometimes.
Okay.
Is that why
No, I
you
love
have
it.
so many different nicknames and personas for each one of those nicknames that we've come up with for you?
That's probably why he has so many, why he plays with that too, is just each persona had to come into play, I'm sure, at a certain point in time. At the beginning of or at the recap, you got to see a little bit of Fenrir.
Fenrir.
Yeah. Is this?
So which Fenrir out of all of them is the failure? Is the one that fails all the
It's
time?
he who shall not be named.
He's that family member that it's just like, oh, how they doing? Fine.
That's a good question.
And who's the successful one, right? Who's the number one?
It's
Or-
clearly from the
Because the question I was gonna ask you, are they all cover-ups for the real you, and you just don't want to show
I would
who
definitely say they're all cover-ups for the real.
Or do you know who the real you is, and that's why you have so many? Is you're trying to find the real
Ooh,
you?
this is so intense.
This is deep, man. This is getting deep.
When did we get so deep?
This isn't really a recap. This is a let's find
this is
out
a
about
therapy session.
Fenrir.
Anything can happen in the post
I'm
show.
gonna save myself here and be like, you can find out about that in the character show.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's something deep hiding within the layers, you ogre.
His name is not
of
really
Fenrir.
His name really
I
is.
do believe Fenrir is an elf.
with onion.
Yeah, I'm the
ogre
one
layers.
with. I'm the one with layers. Calm down.
I thought Fenrir smelled like mint.
He does.
Onion and mint. Ew.
Oh, I mean, different kinds of mint.
Is that the one that
I
you're
know.
not supposed to tell? Right? Fenrir feels like mint, but don't tell him that.
Don't tell him that.
I mean, maybe that's why. Okay.
he actually smells like onion.
I'm gonna move us along. Okay, I have a question. You, Lyla Goratha, argued about putting your horse away.
Oh,
Could
yeah.
you tell us a little bit why, maybe?
I think I kind of explained it a little bit in the episode itself. So part of the information will be in the character backstory, but it really is like her last piece of home. She's two different people. She's completely lost, and it's the last piece of home that Lyla actually has. That's Lila's.
I'm going to interrupt everything here for the listeners. Our host is dipping gummy bears in root beer.
And it tastes real good. Yeah.
That's all.
And,
That's a very
and
weird
yet
thing to
I
do.
am the host, so look to me for guidance.
back to you, Goratha.
Breaking news.
You wanna break in with any breaking news over there, Zebediah?
Take it away.
And in the sports.
No, I just think that's pretty much it though for that. If you had lost everything and didn't know who you were as an individual, wouldn't you cling on to the last thing of home that you really had?
Maybe. Probably. So she just has that sort of significance to you.
Yeah.
It's just that.
But also, Boudreaux
I
said that donkey was the last thing that he had from
I know.
home.
That's why I was
Essentially,
so
yeah.
surprised, not only as a character, but also as me. That was probably more of a knee-jerk reaction from me, being that surprised in the podcast that Boudreaux would be that okay with Donkey wandering away. But at the same time, now that I think about it, it would be fine because he's let him just wander and he just calls him when he comes.
That's what I was going to say, is that Boudreaux's less care about it because Donkey's going to come if Donkey's going to come. He's going to be really sad the day he dies, but
If he dies, you mean?
one day, no,
Goodness
but like
bless.
that's kind of the point, is that Boudreaux believes that like he's a wild animal, like he is his own spirit. He's one of those people that got brought back from the dead. Like he's gonna be who he's gonna be, and so like if he dies, he dies, and if he doesn't, I don't know. Does that make sense?
I was thinking along those same lines, like just a religious belief that you have is Boudreaux, believes that everything's reincarnated, right? Everything, that's just the way of life. So if I never see Donkey again, who knows? I may actually see him again. I just know it. Where Lyla has a different idea on how life and death works. Well, there you have it, guys. The first about 15 minutes of the post show for episodes 39 and 40. What a post show to start out with for those two episodes. Well, if you want to hear more and other post shows that we are coming out with, please subscribe, please follow us, please enter our first tier at ko-fi.com, Tomes of the Chaos Bard. There you can find all our stuff that I've been talking about. I won't bore you with it anymore. So remember, ko-fi.com, Tomes of the Chaos Bard, to sign up for our tier 1 to hear all our post shows. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.